Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm gonna present to you guys about our project. It is about malware awareness campaign. So we can go to our hello team members. We can see here we have Daniel Iman, Abdul Rafiq, Ahmad Munef, and me myself, Najmuddin. So we are the survivors. Let me introduce you guys to the importance of malware awareness in university student. So it is about vulnerability. Students are heavily rely on personal device for academic submission, financial apps, and digital portfolios. So it has a high tendency to download cracked software, bypass browser security warnings for free textbook, or maybe use unsecured campus Wi-Fi networks. So it has a big impact, which can cause devastating data loss, which can cause the university student to losing final year project, identity theft, or compromise student account credentials. So what are the key threats or concept? We have Trojan in cracked software. So students are always look for easy alternative option to premium utilities without realizing that is a disguise to trick them into executing a malware. Next, it's spyware and info stealer, which is it quietly runs in our computer to capture passwords saved in web browser, session tokens, and online banking details. Next is QR code exploiting. Malaysia, as one of top countries to use QR code for payment, it are most too skeptical with QR codes being used for exploitation, manipulation, weaponization, or QR code to cause harm to our data, device, or account are common now. So we must do a campaign demonstration. As one of them is digital poster. So let's break it down as the poster. As you can see here on slide 7, this is our layout digital poster. We structured the content into 5 critical areas that address everyday student vulnerabilities. So one of them is credential security and self-browsing. So we must create strong password to emphasize creating strong password and using password manager to eliminate weak credentials with primarily vector for malware injection. Second is be careful of what you download. So use explicit warning graphic to alert students against downloading Trojan hidden within unverified software or free academic tools. Next, turn on privacy setting. So you can think before you first. So it has a highlight of the think before you post rule to shield us from being targeted phishing attacks from exploit overshared personal data. Next, always use an antivirus program so that it can encash the entire fundamental requirement of using and constantly updating an antivirus program for real-time threat detection. So we have an active defense and digital hygiene. So as you can see here, where we blast and share this digital poster across various popular social media platforms. So this quick and widespread distribution allowed us to reach our target audience directly to their personal device, which smoothly transitioned us into evaluating the assured outcomes into it. Now, let's look closely about the poster impact as detailed in here. As we can see, we measure the outcome of our digital poster interactive based on these 6 core pillars. So the first one is enhance cybersecurity awareness, which is successfully educated campus community on critical dangers of malware and how to it operate. Next, we have high visual engagement. So it utilizes compelling modern graphics to capture attention and simplify dry security concepts. Next, we have promoted safer habits. So we encourage positive behavioral shift, making students think twice before clicking unverified links. Fourth is measurable knowledge increase, which greatly improve our peers' ability to confidently recognize malware red flags and digital threats. Next, we have wide speech rich summary. We achieve maximum visibility by effectively blasting the material through highly active student network channel. And lastly, we have actionable security, which provide straightforward, practical hygiene that students can easily implement on their personal devices.
Right, so now I will be sharing the results of our targeted survey on campus cybersecurity. And this data forms the entire foundation of our awareness campaign. We have conducted an anonymous survey with 70 university students. Our goals are simple. We want to measure what students already know about malware, uncover their security blind spots, and use that real data to shape our educational materials. Google Forms for a quick 2-minute survey consisting of 5 questions, and we keep it completely anonymous. And we also encourage our peers to give honest answers about their digital habits so that we could build a campaign that truly addresses. Right, so we started with the basics. So the good news here is that our baseline is strong. 88.2% correctly identified malware as software designed to disrupt or damage our computer systems. This got tricky when we asked them to identify specific types. While most recognize ransomware and trojans, nearly 30% incorrectly selected firewall as a type of malware, and this shows a dangerous confusion between computer threat and also defense. But when it comes to spotting an active infection, our peers did it well. Over 88% knows that unexplained pop-ups are a major red flag, and about 70% recognize that a suddenly slow device or a changed browser homepage are also warning signs. As for the prevention, 76.5% rightly choose keeping software updated as the best defense. However, almost 80% thought only clicking links from unknown senders was an effective prevention method. This is a major misunderstanding that our campaign needs to address. This slide highlights our most critical finding. If an infection happens, only about 35% know that they should immediately disconnect the device from the internet. Concerning 53% download additional software to try and fix it, which could lead to actually make the attack yet much by these dangerous blind spots in emergency response. Students are highly confident. Over 70% rated their ability to spot a suspicious thing as a 4 or 5 out of 5. And this false sense of security proved that exactly why our campaign is. In summary, this data uncovered a massive gap between how confident students feel and what they actually do in an emergency. By focusing on these specific mistakes, our campaign can introduce proper basic security hygiene and leave our peers genuinely confident and in control of their devices.
Hello and hi, my name is Abdul Rafiq bin Zakaria. For our malware awareness campaign, I serve as the social media campaign designer. My focus was to leverage Instagram and Threads to transform complex cybersecurity threats information into accessible and easy to understand information to the public, engaging digital content. So, let's start by social media campaign posts on Instagram and Thread. Let's go. So here, I designed the campaign to clearly define malware as a digital flu that compromises device security. The content covers key malware types such as trojans, ransomware, and worms, and provide actionable safety measures like installing antivirus software and practicing strong password management. So it will educate the people how to have their passwords more secure. So here is the balance of the slide. And I also like to mention that we post the posting on 1 July 2026, same as the thread post. And here as you can see, those are the balance slide. And as you can see also at the end of the slide, we have a question to help we interact with our viewers on Instagram. The campaign successfully reached a broad audience. On Instagram, we achieved 770 views with a strong reach among non-followers, which is 67.1%, indicating effective discoverability. The engagement was tangible, with users commenting that the information was life-saving, providing that our educational approach resonated with the public. On the other hand, the campaign on track has an audience views up to 86 viewers around the world. This shows that different social media applications really help in reaching and increase the audience view because our target audience mostly on university students, which are young people that active more on social media than the older people. So to summarize the impact of our social media effort, we successfully increased the public awareness regarding the risk of cyber attacks. Also, we utilize platforms like Instagram and Thread to expand our audience reach. We educate users through simplified content that makes complex threats easy to understand by the public people. And finally, we motivated the audience to reflect on their own security habits and take concrete steps to secure their password from being easy to be attacked by the attackers that is unreversible. To see how this campaign works in practice, I will hand it over to my next friend to the next slide. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Daniel Iman Hakimi, and I will be moving on with the next campaign demonstration. That being the interactive quiz. It used to be known as quizzes, but now it is called Playground. We'll start to look at our third communication channel, our interactive gamified evaluation. So, yeah, you can see in the middle there, we have about 15 people that participated in our little Playground game. So yeah, to actively engage our target audience of university students, we engineered a rapid-fire security challenge using the Wayground platform. So yeah, here you can see 10 whole questions that the contestants answered throughout the entire Wayground quiz. So yeah, instead of answering boring text-based quiz, we just dropped them into a competitive live virtual arena where accuracy matters the most. As you can see from the leaderboard, our campus appears highly engaged with the challenge. And yeah, with the top people being Adham, one of my friends, and yeah, he scored perfectly using the power ups as well, given that half of our top 10 players achieved perfect accuracy, well, near perfect. There was Sanjivan that didn't get one right, but that was because of the redemption question thing. So yeah, that's very nice. And now we dive into the empirical data and findings gathered from this challenge. And yeah, this is directly mapped to our Module 6. We discovered a fascinating split in student security literacy. Our peers demonstrated exceptional fluency in visible threat vectors. Like, let's say for question 5 earlier, which analyzed the tracking purpose of spyware, everyone got that 100% because it's really obvious what spyware is. You're looking into someone's privacy. And yeah, not only that it registered as our fastest response metric, it's yeah taking an average of just 4 seconds per student. Question 10 regarding the operational role of antivirus software, yeah, it also yielded the same results. However, the data exposed critical conceptual gaps when it came to abstract background system threats. Question 3 regarding about Trojans, and question 7 about botnets. It had the highest failure rates because it's most people haven't heard of such things, and yeah, they were confused about it. So yeah, this feedback loop proved exactly why our campaign was necessary. Students recognize consumer level security tools. They lack awareness of the deep structural mechanics of stealth malware. And now we have come to the recommendations part on how to overcome malware in general. So we'll start with software and sourcing integrity. So basically, we need to eliminate cracked files such as pirated software, keygens, and third-party executables. We can't be that trusting with most third-party software anymore. And our for the second point being leverage academic alternatives, which is like using more stuff meant for students provided by let's say university. Okay, moving on to the next point being endpoint hardening. So which is the proactive patching and endpoint hardening. So we have the auto update. So yeah, never skip any browser or OS update patches and close entry doors immediately. And as well as the second point being maintain active defense, which is continue scanning actively because antivirus is very important in this very aggressive recent generation. And as for our last point being behavioral hygiene, which is, yes, stop account hijacking. So yeah, you gotta verify your QR codes. You gotta treat everything with skepticism. You can't trust anything anymore. And for the last point being enforce MFA. You can't just have a password and go on with it. You gotta have your fingerprint, your face, whatever. So yeah, that's for the recommendations. Now we move onwards. We're here at the FAQ, frequently asked questions for identification of malware. So our first question being, how do I know if my device is infected? So we would look for sudden performance drops, rapid battery drain, aggressive pop-ups, or uninstall apps appearing. Moving on to the next question, can a website infect my laptop by just visiting it? Yes, drive-by downloads exist. Prevent this by keeping your browser fully updated. Never leave it Moving on to the next FAQ, we got prevent and protect. How did I get malware in the first place? So yeah, malware frequently spreads through emails, hack websites, and downloads from unverified torrents. So be careful with what you click. Moving on, how do I protect my personal laptop? Of course, like I said before, keep yourself updated, never be outdated. Enable your device built-in firewall and keep using an antivirus. And for our last FAQ, we have removal and recovery. How do we remove and recover from a malware? I think my laptop has malware. What is the very first thing I should do? Immediately disconnect your device from the internet. So yeah, you just stop malware from spreading your private data to outside attackers, basically. Is it safe to just use a standard malware scanner, or do I need to reboot my computer in a special way first? So we have this thing called safe mode before running a scan, and it's very recommended because it only loads essential system files, which is like, yeah, no third party at all. So yeah, that's it for the FAQs. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. We are Survivor, and we're out.